We're continuing the Maimer as Karbani Lachmi Ishai that the Rebbe said on Shabbos Parshas Pinchas Tafshin Yud Aleph Shabbos Mevorchim of Menachem Av. In the Maimer, the Rebbe is explaining the purpose of Karbanis and specifically what's special about the Karbanis of the time of Mashiach. So first the Rebbe explained in short what we learned is that the idea of Karbanis is that a person realizes when he sees the animal on the Mizbeach and he sees how the animal is being elevated and being included in the fire and included in its source, he realizes also how my existence is also nothing but part of the reality of Hashem. And the Rebbe explained that despite the fact that that happens in davening, and we explained the three aspects in davening, which correspond to the meat of the carbon, the bones of the carbon, and the sinews, the veins of the carbon, which is the intellect, the contemplation, the emotional understanding, and the veins is what connects the two. Nevertheless, in davening, that is only in a spiritual sense. But since the purpose of everything is for the physical world, moreover, the higher something is, the lower down it comes, and therefore the ultimate concept of Karbanis is specifically when it's in the physical world with a physical animal. However, then the Rebbe asked, if that's the case, why are we awaiting the Karbanis of the third Beis HaMikdash? And we say that only then is when it will be k'mitzvahs ritzonecha, fully done according to the full will of Hashem. If it's about the lowest, so the lowest is by the first and second Beis HaMikdash. And so in order to explain this, the Rebbe began to explain the idea of Dira B'Tachteinim, that the purpose of creation is to make and create a dwelling place for Hashem down here. Now in this dwelling place, that Hashem should dwell and live and be, so to speak, comfortable and be able to be expressed in this physical world which seemingly denies the existence of Hashem, goes against the existence of Hashem. This concept comes from above, but more importantly is what a person does, because everything that was created in the world is created Asher bara likim lasos. Hashem created a world lasos lisakin in order that a person, a human being, should fix this world. Although Hashem created a perfect world, the point of creation is not what happens from above, but rather the avodah, the actions of a person. Similarly, also with regards to the Dira B'Tachteinim, the main idea of a Dira B'Tachteinim, of creating a dwelling place for Hashem down here, which brings the essence of Hashem, is something that happens through the avodah of a person, through what a person does. And it's the same thing with the idea of a carbon. Regarding a carbon, we say, Raza the Kurban Allah Eila the Raza Dein Seif. The secret of a carbon reaches the very secret of Ein Sof. We don't say Oyer Ein Sof, the infinite light of Hashem, but Ein Sof, which is infinite itself, which is a way of describing the essence of Hashem. The essence of Hashem is revealed not in the spiritual world, but rather in the physical world down here, as was explained at length in the very first Maimer of Basi Legani, that the essence comes specifically in the physical world down here. That's where Hashem's essence is revealed, because that's where Hashem's desire is. That's where the dwelling place for Hashem can be created, where Hashem's very essence can be revealed. However, the idea of the Karbanis is mainly and mostly not something of the way it comes from above, but rather something which is connected to the avodah of a person, to what a person does. And that's why in the very beginning of creation, when Hashem created man, He put him in Gan Eden, le'avda u'le'shamra, to work, to do the work there in order to draw down something which can be drawn down only through the avodah of a person, and l'shamra refers to the avodah of karbanis. As we say, tishmeru, by carbon, by the carbon tamid, which is the main one of the Karbanis, we say Tishmeru, keep it, L'shamra means the Avodah of Karbanis. And that was the Avodah of Adam Arishin in Gan Eden. So in order to explain all of this, the Rebbe continued to explain the idea of Gan Eden. The difference between Gan Eden and this world. Gan Eden is like the idea of Moichin, intellect. Intellect is something that's above the world. Adam Arishin was placed into Gan Eden. Gan Eden is a place where everything can be revealed. All the great things that are in this world are able to become revealed. Where godliness can be revealed. That's like the level of intellect that understands, that recognizes, that realizes. Whereas this physical world is like the midas, the emotions, which is the channels of godly light that come in a way of a midah, in a measured way. That they come measured according to the way that they're able to be accepted into the physical world. Whereas Moichin is something that's above this type of measurement. What happens? The difference between Moichin and Midas is a very great difference. It's one which is totally it comes in a way that it's unrelated to one another. To the extent that in order to go from intellect to emotion, just as you have it in a person, in the physical body of a person, between the brain, the head, and the heart, there's the Meitzar Hagarin, the constraint of the throat. In a similar manner, when a person understands something, from understanding, that is actually what gives birth and what brings about the emotion. But in order to come about to the emotion, first there has to be a total nothingness, to go to a place where it's away from the emotion, from the intellect. And only once there is the nothingness, then one can reach the emotion from the intellect, because it's not something that comes directly. One has to first leave sort of his intellectual understanding, and then he can get to the feeling. In a similar manner, the difference between Gan Eden and this world is totally unrelated. And that's why in Gan Eden, there's the Yediyas HaMahus. In Gan Eden, as we say, the concept of intellect, which is why Gan Eden is the world of Bria, or the world of Yetzirah, which means a person can understand, or it's emotion which is based on understanding. In Gan Eden, when the Neshama goes to Gan Eden, after being in this world, it's able to perceive, to understand, to grasp the essence of everything that it couldn't grasp in this world. In this world, everything's measured. It's not able to grasp it. In fact, in this world, we don't understand anything. We don't even understand the true existence of what this world really is. Because the real existence of this world, as we know, is that there's the koyach hapoyel banifal, there's the power of the Creator that's within the creation. And since in this world we can't recognize and we can't realize that power of the Creator, we're not able to recognize the truth of godliness that is what constantly creates this world. That had there been for a moment the godly light, the godly energy wouldn't be here, would leave, then the entire world would cease to exist. And yet we don't recognize it, we don't feel it, we don't realize it, which means we don't understand and grasp even the true existence of this physical world and what it really is. That's in this world. In a totally way which is completely removed from that. There's the Moichin, there's the level of Gan Eden, which is a place where the Neshama has pleasure from grasping and recognizing and realizing and knowing the existence of godliness, knowing the essence of godliness. In this world, the only thing that we can know is the existence, the fact that he exists. But in Gan Eden, we actually grasp the reality of what it is, and that's what gives pleasure to Neshamas in Gan Eden. So the difference between the two is in a way that it's totally unrelated one to another. And nevertheless, what a person there's a certain concept that's able to come into Gan Eden, which can only come through avodah, through the work, through what a person does in this world. And similar to what we've been explaining, is that there's what comes from above, but the true essence is something that comes from the avodah, from the work of a person, because that's the way Hashem made everything, that everything comes from a person's actions. In Gan Eden, what do the neshamas experience? The ziv, teirasan v'avidasan, the shine of their Torah and avodah that they did in this world. What's the meaning of that? And that's actually why even Adam Arishan, when he was in Gan Eden, which is in the physical world, but it's the concept of Gan Eden, similar to the spiritual Gan Eden of the neshamas, the main thing is what was added through his avodah. What's caused through the Torah and avodah that a person does in this world? We learnt in Basi Legani, and again this is interesting, this mimer, the Rebbe quotes a few times the concepts that were explained in the mimer Basi Legani, because the idea that we're explaining here is the Dira B'Tachteinim, the ultimate dwelling place for Hashem down here, and how it's accomplished, and especially in the strongest and most powerful form through the avodah of Karbanis. And that's why we're constantly going back to the ideas that were explained in Basi Legani. In Basi Legani, the Rebbe quoted from the Rebbe Maharash that whatever a person, it says in Kabbalah and Chassidus, that the mitzvahs that we do in this world are moisif oireis in atzilus. They add light, they add energy, they increase the energy in the world of atzilus. Which first of all is the idea that atzilus is the highest world, it's a godly world, it's a world where godliness is fully revealed, and yet what we do down here adds and increases energy into the world of atzilus. And nevertheless, we explained in the mimer from the Rebbe Maharash that this doesn't mean that what we're doing is adding to the light of Atzilus, because Atzilus can't even manage to relate to the great achievement that we're able to achieve in the physical material world, because here it's the essence of Hashem. The full purpose is specifically down here. It's only that the light that we're adding is in Atzilus, it's like in a box. Because it's like in storage in Atzilus, meaning it's not able to be revealed in the world down here, and therefore instead it's kept in storage, so to speak, in Olam Atzilus, until the coming of Mashiach, when it becomes revealed from Atzilus, it becomes revealed down here. But Atzilus only gets that light as it's closed in a box, so to speak. Similarly also, when a person does Torah and Avodah in this world, and he's able to experience that which he accomplished through the pleasure of understanding it in Gan Eden it's only Ziv, Teirasan v'Avidasan, the shine of the Torah and Avodah. The essence of it is not able to be grasped in Gan Eden. And nevertheless, we have an idea that in Gan Eden there's the world, there's Mimale Kolalmin, which means the godly light that's able to shine in the world. Gan Eden is a spiritual place. In a spiritual place, there is revealed the spiritual light. What's the whole idea of spiritual light? Spiritual light means light that's able to be grasped, that's able to be understood, that's able to be felt. And that's the difference between this world and Gan Eden, and that's the reason why a person is not able to go into Gan Eden on a regular basis to the most situation. A person can't go into Gan Eden when his neshama is within the body, because a physical existence is in the physical world, isn't able to grasp that spiritual light. But the spiritual light is in a very measured manner. It's very strong and powerful. And it's a strong energy, but yet it's measured in a way that the iris are within Kalim, the light is grasped in the vessels. It's internalized. It's what we call the Oir Hamemale kol almin. It's a very great godly light, but it comes in a measured way according to the level and according to the amount that it's supposed to be accepted, it's supposed to be received over there. That's why in Gan Eden it's not possible to do tshuva anymore. Because it's only a measured and it's only a orderly fashion and it's only according to levels, and tshuva is something that goes beyond levels. Through our Torah and Avodah in this world, we bring into Gan Eden an additional light of Eira Seviv Kol Almin, the light that transcends the world, the spiritual energy that transcends the world, that generally is not able to be in Gan Eden on its own, but through what we do in this world, we add that and we bring that into Gan Eden. Mitzvah Hashem, next time we'll continue to see more what the Avodah of Karbanis, the way it was in Gan Eden down here.